sitting outside of the REI, and apparently because this is a private parking lot, we're not allowed to film inside the parking lot. No, not at all.
As you all know, on our episodes, we purposely get ourselves lost by asking people to give us directions to cool places. REI is awesome and would have let us do interviews outside of their store, but unfortunately we didn't get prior mall management approval to film. So, we scouted a bunch of other locations. Chuck your GPS out the driver's window and let's get lost. Since we couldn't film outside the REI this time, we needed to look for a new place to get us kick-started. I wandered around a bit, but you'll always come across somebody with good info if you just keep asking. We ended up at the Cartel Salon in Orange County where, even though they can't help me with my receding hairline, they sure gave us a lot of good info on places to go. So do you know of any hidden little gems anywhere that your particular favorite?
Actually, I do. I ran across this really private park by accident, actually. It's called Santiago Oak.
I also got another good tip from her coworker.
Jamie, are you local to the area?
I am. One of my favorite places to go to is Irvine Park. You can kayak, there's horseback riding, they have a great picnic area, there's a little train that goes around the park, there's also a zoo.
Do they rent kayaks there, do you know?
They do.
Well, I took the advice. A little kayaking sounds in order, so I am back at the REI and I'm going to pick up some nice water shoes, which is something I am severely lacking. So
I went in to grab some water shoes for kayaking and headed out. I'll show them to you in a bit, but first...
well, I have rolled on into Irvine Regional Park. There's a lot of little activities to do. There's a dog park, there's a zoo. I went by a little place that said they offer horse rentals.
We do have riding lessons here. It's $180 a month for a once-a-week class.
What would be the first steps that I need to prepare for?
First steps is you'd want to have proper attire.
Huh, I wonder if this is what she means by proper attire.
If you don't have proper attire, they could actually break your toe.
I really like my toes, so I decided against horseback riding. Well, it turns out that sometimes the info you get isn't always 100% correct. While there was no kayaking in the park, there was paddleboarding, but even that was closed for the day. At times like this, you have to remember, screw the destination and enjoy where you're at. I was given one last good tip to go to Peters Canyon Regional Park, just a mile down the road, where I could try out my new awesome shoes that I told you about.
These are some shoes that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Barefoot walking and running has become a very popular pastime in the last few years, and this company, they have what's called the Vibram 5-finger shoes. And obviously you can see there's individual toes, so it actually is designed to mimic the feel of walking barefoot without taking off the skin on the bottom of your foot.
I started down the trail, and someone said there was a good view of a lake. After all this driving around, I needed to relax a little and just enjoy my surroundings. There's little paths everywhere, and lots of people enjoying them, walking dogs, cycling, and running.
The issue with dogs and taking your dogs anywhere outside, and this also goes pretty much for yourself as well, is in certain areas like this one, there's a lot of tall grass. And ticks will latch onto you just by jumping right off the grass that you brush your legs through, and especially if you have dogs. It can transmit a bacterial infection to your dog, or yourself for that matter, called Lyme disease. That's not a pretty thing to get.
And now it's time to test out the shoes. Proponents of barefoot running say that when done with proper technique, it can greatly reduce the shock on your knees and hips because you run largely on the balls and outer edges of your feet, instead of hitting the ground hard with your heels. The Peters Canyon Park covers 354 acres in total, and the upper reservoir area that we're hiking covers 55 acres. There are lush eucalyptus groves, willows, coastal sage, and rare black cottonwoods. Lakeview Trail has a pretty self-explanatory and awesome panoramic view of the lake.
All right, well, this is a nice little bench, which means it's the perfect time to do something I'm very good at, which is sitting. Well, it's definitely a beautiful spot. If you're looking for a good, inexpensive date for you and your significant other, you can bring some wine out here, you could bring some food. Trust me, men, ladies will love picnics.
After all that walking, I needed to find something good to eat.
So I think you should check out Sutha and Tustin for Thai food. It's pretty much awesome local place. You can't beat their pad Thai.
Is there any good Mexican joints around?
Oh yeah, for post-ride or hike is Chronic Taco.
Well, it looks like the crew is in the mood for Mexican food, so I think we're gonna go there. Well, there you have it. Done and dusted, the lake loop view, and I am out of here.
Let's get some Chronic Tacos. Well, we followed the tip from the bicyclists that we found on the pathway, and we're here at Chronic Tacos. And we're gonna get some nice bomb grub.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. And I asked for the hot sauce too, and they weren't kidding.
Oh, it was a day mostly full of wandering. I met new people and discovered several new places to come back to that I never would have known of before. So get up, get out, and get lost.